Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a look at Sy Snootles and the Rebo Band. So I've got my loose band out, and I've also dug out, and first time I was looking at this in a few years, my tri-logo boxed version as well. And I think we're going to see quite a difference between the two different bands. Anyway, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay, then we start off with Max Rebo himself, and as you can see, one of the most common problems with this figure is that as soon as it's exposed to light, it just disintegrates. It just goes white. He goes like a ghost, and you can sort of see mine's got a double whammy in that traditionally the head, arms, and legs go white anyway, but then where he's been sort of on display, he's been sat there like that in his in his keyboard there. You can see where the arm was. It's sort of created, you know, where it's been exposed to light and sunshine. It's just faded him awfully, absolutely awful. This so over on Dave at Toy Polloi, he took his Max Rebo and he was able to developed a process where it sort of stains the plastic and brings it back to being a nice sort of more traditional blue color. But I have also got out today my boxed one. So my boxed Max Rebo has never been on display. That band's always been in the box since it was brand new. So we'll in a minute we'll compare it to this exposed Max Rebo, and we'll see just how they compare, because I have a funny feeling that my boxed one is going to look just gorgeous. However, it comes with this little keyboard set here. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. Really great sort of figure. I was glad to see him revived in the recent sort of Disney Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian. We see he's still around, even though the casino where he was playing most recently got blown up. Max, we didn't see Max there playing that night, so we're assuming he's still around, because he is, you could say, a fan favorite. So that's Max Rebo. Now the next one, we got a very odd looking figure, and this is the band leader. So this is Sy Snootles, and this is one of those ones which, when I first saw them in Jedi, I thought, God, this is like straight from the Muppets, and that's because it's got that sort of heritage, hasn't it? It's come from sort of Jim Henson's sort of creature studio, as it were. Now, still nothing taking it away from a really crazy design, really, isn't it? And only a couple of things to look out for this. Obviously, the top bit can sometimes be chewed off, and it's wearing like a plasticky skirt, but on the whole, the figure does actually, even though it looks really fragile, does stand up on its own fairly well. So I'm not sure whether I should even bother putting him on a stand, or putting her on a stand. It does come with this microphone, which, look, it's about, the tip of it is about the same height as Sy Snootles' mouth there. So if you display them correctly, she could be singing right into the mic there, just like that. Oh, brilliant. I'm trying to think if I remember seeing these in the shops. I'm sure I did see the tri-logo ones, but I don't remember that many of my friends actually bothering to buy this one, but maybe that's just me. Right, the last player of the original band is Drippy McCool. Now, I always thought he was a bit of a mole, because he didn't really have any visible eyes here, and he looks a bit mole-like, doesn't he? And he was sort of like a saxophone player, or something along those lines, maybe more like a clarinet. And we've got his like little flute here, and that is quite a delicate little piece, that, so be careful with this one. But I just have him like that. You can have sort of in both hands there, but I don't want to sort of damage this one at all. I think you should just sort of pin in down the bottom as well, but I think, for the sake of today, I'm just going to turn it around like that, and I think we'll leave it just like that. I think he looks fine. Looks like he could be playing his little clarinet or whatever it was there. So really, oh, and he of course also comes with a microphone, but it's a slightly smaller one, which I believe the end is supposed to go sort of near the bottom of his flute thing there. just like that. So that's the band as is, and quite a nice little setup it is as well. Really, really good fun, these ones. And yeah, it's exactly what Jedi was, wasn't it? It was Star Wars to the nth degree. And I always think that the Jabba's Palace scene was an attempt to recreate the famous original Mos Eisley Cantina scene. So on their own, they don't look bad, except obviously Max himself is white as a sheet. However, I have dug out my boxed one, which it'll be very interesting to compare the two and see what they're like actually inside. Okay, so here's my boxed one. Now, I've not had this one out in quite some time, so I'm looking forward to having a look at it. Now, I've got it in a GW acrylic case, so we'll slide it out of this one. We'll have a look and see what he's looking like. Now, back in the day when we had our shop, we had a few boxed ones through our hands, probably about 4 or 5, I reckon. And this is the best one that I ever kept. It's not been cleaned. This is exactly how I sort of stored it back in the day. So it's not perfect. It's not sealed. It's got a little bit of wear, but on the whole, I'd say it's better than average. It's got quite sharp edges. Got a tear down there, which is unfortunate, but it's a closed tear, so it's not the end of the world. Obviously on the back it looks a bit like a carded one, doesn't it? A collect all 70 figures there, which is cool. Very, very nice there. Although it says collect all 70, yet it lists up to 79. So make of that what you will. I think the naming of it is also really cool. So we got obviously in English Sy Snootles and the Rebo Band. Then you've got the I think it's the Italian version, Sy Snootles e la Banda Rebo, and the French version, Orchestra Rebo et Sy Snootles. That was brilliant. So let's see if I can delicately open this box without damaging it. One thing I do when I'm trying to get into boxes I don't want to pull them is I get a little screwdriver in like this, and you can sort of lift up without pulling and putting extra stress on those 2 points there. Just a little tip there. So let's have a look and see what it's looking like. Sadly, nothing more than the actual band. I don't really think that there was any instructions or anything to worry about with this one. But look at this. This is what a real nice mint boxed one looks like. And wow, you can already see the difference. So there's Max once again. Sy Snootles. Now, because this one's been in the box, look, the leg's actually slightly bent over. We've got the 2 microphones. But the main thing is, look at this Max. So that is what you call a mint Max Rebo. That has never ever been out on display, and he is an absolute beauty. Look at that. So if we take my loose one, which is hammered, and look at that, it's actually got a variation on the eyes. That one's not got such, this Max has got really, really big pupils, whereas that one, I guess they're just worn. So, I mean, my Max Rebo couldn't really be any worse than that. It's about the worst example of Max you've ever seen. Although, as I said, Dave over at Toy Ploy has developed a system where he can restain the Max back to being blue again, and he's offered to give me his first experiment with that, which I can put with my sort of display one until I can get a better Max. But Max Rebos in this condition, they're not out there. They're not out there for sale. The only way you're really going to get it is to buy a tri-logo boxed one, because in America, of course, the Rebo Band came carded, and the carded ones, Max has been, even if you were to buy a carded one and open it, the Max inside is going to be worn in it. But what an amazing difference. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. So there you go. Mint boxed and decidedly iffy loose set there, but even so, on the loose set, everything else is absolutely fine. It is just Max, which ideally I'm going to try and replace, because my Max is, well, it looks like he's been out on a very bad night on the tiles, hasn't he? But brilliant, and I think they were a really great addition to Jedi, and I'm glad that they brought them out like this. And I particularly like the tri-logo version, even more so than the carded Kenner version. I really like that tri-logo box. It's brilliant. Excellent stuff. So I do hope you've enjoyed looking through the Sy Snootles and the Rebo Band playset. It's certainly a cracker. If you have enjoyed it today, do please give the video a thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing if you've not already for regular vintage Star Wars content. My next video is going to be a 1 hour or thereabouts special looking at the last 17 figures in detail. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to sharing that one with you very, very soon. Until then, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.